Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depends on when you're actually watching this webinar. My name is John Pyron, and I want to welcome you to today's Trainer Mastermind call. We do this call every Friday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Sometimes we're just on a conference line, other times we're on a webinar format like we are today, because we're actually going to record this and use this as a training module. One of the people that's on the line right now is a guy named Parris Hill, and Parris is a client of mine. I coach him one-on-one, and he's starting to have major success in his business, and he's got lots of clients. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today is creating a lead generation magnet around delivering free content to the market. And so what's the purpose of this call? Number one is I'm going to share with you step by step everything you need to do to set up your system. The reason this is important is back in April of 2014, the challenge I was having was obscurity. People didn't know who I was. They didn't know what I do. And at the time, I was leading a weekly training call for a guy named Eric Lotham, his trainer program. I was the lead trainer. And there was about 95 trainers across 6 countries involved in that program. And one of the things I used to do is I used to do a weekly training call, and then it morphed into 2 times a week, then 3 times a week, then 4 times a week, and then ultimately one every day. And so I ran probably around 60 different calls in that 1 month. And when you do that many reps, when you do that many repetitions, you get very good. And so the main purpose of this is for you to get the repetitions that you need. It's a great way for you as a trainer to get the repetitions under your belt so you can get better. It's a way for you to practice your webinar content, your front of the room talk content, your conference call content. Every single time you do a rep, you stretch and you get better. And so when I was talking to Parris yesterday, one of the strategies that we're going to implement with the team of people that he's built is we're going to create a weekly training call. So instead of having to spend a half hour with 12 people, he's going to be able to spend an hour one time and train 12 people. And give you an idea of how this works. And on July 1st of 2013, I started what's now called the 10X Mastermind group. It's a Facebook group. It has a weekly live training call every Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. I created that call because I had 22 trainers that wanted to coach and train with me, and I was training them and teaching them all the same thing. And so I decided to form a weekly training call where I could teach that good quality content one time and hit lots of people. Since then, that's grown into real estate people, mortgage people, business owners, pretty much anybody that wants to play at a high level, and now we're up to 245 people in about 9 countries. And so what's happened is it's a way for me and guest speakers to practice our content. And we're going to go over how to prep for that and how to do that and why it's important. But if you think about it, the more you speak, the more you give a front-of-the-room talk, conference call, or webinar, the better you get. And so really, why do you want to do this? Well, it's very simple. To get out there, to create a magnet where you can give away free content. One of the things I've learned very well is if I want to do business with you, there's got to be something I could try out and test first so I can get a sampling of your skill set and what you do. If I like you and I resonate with you, then I'm going to want more. And so one of the things that we're going to do on today's call is we're going to set up this system for Parris. Parris leads runs a network marketing business, and it's a health program. And part of the strategy is getting customers, getting them excited about the product, getting them set up as a reoccurring buyer of the product, and then ultimately setting them up as an affiliate, and then training those affiliates, and then those that want to be an actual distributor, signing up those people that want to be a distributor. Now, when you're working with people like that, you got two choices. You can either be the answer person for all those people, or you can create a teaching and training system where you can set up a system of duplication and teach them how to do it. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to set up a system where Parris can actually teach and train content for free in the market, and that's going to create a lead generation magnet. And then what's going to happen is they come there, they get the free call, they get the free content, they're going to want to know more, and that's where Parris is going to do a free coaching session, and then from there they're going to become a customer or an affiliate or a distributor. And then once that happens, how are you going to train them? And so the information we're going to talk about today, you're going to go back, you're going to be able to go back and watch this and follow it step by step and set up these systems. And so let's get started. So there's a couple of components here. Number one is I'm going to show you how to set up a Facebook group. Number two, I'm going to show you how to set up your own conference line and how to run it. Number three is I'm going to show you how to set up a podcast service and how to serve up your calls. And number four is I'm going to show you how to run a live call. And so let me hop over, put my screen over here, and we'll get going. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually set up the Facebook group. So Mr. Parris, I am going to actually unmute you. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. And I am going to set you up as a presenter. And so you are now, you should be a presenter. I sent you the thing. You probably have to accept something on your end.
Okay. Let's see here. Share webcam. Start. No viewing. My webcam. Okay, I didn't see it on my end just yet.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm not seeing it either. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Since we're in this situation, I could set up this group, and you know, I'll just set up a different group, but you can go in and set up your own group later. But okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to set up this group. I believe I can transfer the group over to you, and you can own it. Okay.
Okay.
So under groups, so on your home page in Facebook, okay, actually, hold on just a second. All right, let me see. It says make, okay. All right, so you should be the presenter now.
Yep. Now we're here.
Okay. And you're going to want to hit show your screen at the top.
Let's see
Okay,
here.
there you are.
Cool.
Okay. And then All right, so what you want to do is go to yours and just click on groups. Okay, you see up at the top right where it says create group?
Yep.
Go ahead and click on that. And go ahead and type in what the group name is. So we're going to call it ESPADA, E-S-P-A-D-A, ESPADA, the Winners Association.
Yep.
Okay. All right, before we move further, let me explain the difference in the privacy settings here. So if it is a paid-for membership-driven group, you'll want to call it a secret group, okay? Because otherwise it'll be searchable in Facebook. If you put it as a closed group, that means that people can search the group and they can request to become a member, and then there's all kinds of controls that you have there. For a public group, which is what, this is going to be the one that we're going to use as a magnet, right?
Right.
Okay? So you'll want to make this a public group. So go ahead and click on public. Okay? Now here's some things to understand. Once you get your group beyond 250 members, you can only go to a more restrictive setting. You can't go to a more open setting. Okay? So under where it says members, up at the top underneath the group name, go ahead and put your mouse cursor there. And add me. Okay? All right, and then you're going to hit create. And now you can choose an icon, or you can even skip this section. Let's choose, this is going to be a mastermind group, right?
Right.
Okay. And so go ahead and select an icon that you like. Okay, and hit OK. Okay. Now here's your group. Okay, and so now what you want to do is click on where it says Add Description to the left,
Up,
down, right there.
Oh, okay, I see.
And you can just type anything for now because we're on a webinar.
Right.
Group text, and then hit Save. Okay. Now we want to add a cover photo. So see where it says Upload Photo up there?
Yeah.
It's working. Go ahead and hit it again. Click on Upload Photo again. And try to select the photo again. You got to select a photo first. So you got to click on the photo you want. There you go.
Having drag issues.
Go ahead and expand that window.
Sure.
There we go. All right. See where it says the title, A Spot of the Winner's Circle, below left, right? Yeah, click on that. All right. Now go up and hit Upload Photo again. And click on the photo. And then hit OK, hit Open. There you go. Okay, so this is, it's obviously uploading very slow, so no problem.
Right.
So go ahead and click on the Spot of the Winners Association again. Okay, so we're just going to assume that you have uploaded the photo at this point. Okay.
Right.
Now, if you go to down where it says members on the right-hand side, okay, down. Okay, you can add people. So like in this case, if you wanted to make somebody else the admin, you see that little wheel underneath my name?
Right.
Okay, right? That's where you would make somebody an admin. Okay. The other thing is go over up at the top where it says joined share notifications. Go over to the very far right. Click that. And go edit group settings. And this is where you can set your group address. So see where that button says set your group address in the middle there? Yep. Okay. So you can set up an email address and you can call it Espada Winners. There you go. Set group address. Okay. And now down below where you see that, it's giving you a website address, so https facebook.com/groups/Espada Winners. And you also have an email address associated with this group. So you can use that to promote it out on any social media platform you want to have people join the group. Okay. Now there's a couple other settings I want to point it out is membership approval. See how it's set right now? Any member can add or approve members, right? And if that's okay, you can just leave it like that. See up top where above where it says group address, right?
Oh, okay.
The other setting is any member can add a member, but an admin has to approve them.
Right.
Okay. And then if we go down where it says tags, okay, tags are important because if I was going to search up sales groups in Facebook, it's going to search based on tags. Okay, so what you got to do here is, okay, what kind of group is this? What type of people do you want to attract?
So we can say, or maybe.
Okay, so business, just hit business development.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, see where it's down below, where it's the second one down, business development? Wait.
Oh.
You got business spelled, yeah.
Yeah.
B-U-S. There you go. All right. See the second one down where it says interest? Click that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
And do you want to track MLM?
Yeah.
Okay, and then just hit MLM interest. There you go. Okay. Now, below that, where it says posting permissions. So right now, how it's set up is members and admins can post to the group. When you're doing a public open group, it's good to leave that setting just like that. Okay. When you start getting into more of a closed group or secret group, you can change it to where only admins can post to this group. Like when you get your groups to the point where there are thousands of people, you don't want people just posting anything. right?
Exactly.
So some groups, hey, that's the purpose. That's the reason they exist. They allow totally free sharing. You can post whatever you want. You can advertise the crap out of it. The challenge is it becomes, you muddy the waters when you do that. And so in the description area up there, ultimately you want to write a description saying, here's the rules of the group. There's no advertising allowed here. You know, whatever rules you want to implement, right?
Right.
The other thing is you can leave it just like where it says posting permissions. You can leave it just like that, but you see a little checkbox where it says post approval. You can click that, and you can allow people to post anything they want, but it's going to require your approval. Right. And on an open group, when you're just getting started, I would not put that on there because you want interaction at this point.
Right.
So go ahead and hit save. And that, my friends, is how you set up your Facebook group. Okay? So to drive traffic, if you go back, go up to there where it says a spot of the winner circle, click on that again. Okay? From here, you can upload files. You can create events. You can add members, etc. Okay, you can promote this group out, share it on whatever wall you want, and so forth. Okay. All right. So good job. Good job. Let me take back control of the webinar here. Hold on just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got the right screen showing. All right, so let me show you what I was talking about. So if I go to the 10X Mastermind group, okay, what I do to manage this group, right, is I have a description here where I explain, okay, what the group is. There's a weekly call. Here's how you join the call. Here's how you get the recordings, okay. I give them the rules. Do not self-promote unless somebody asks you if you spam the group, right? There's rules in here for that, okay? And I enforce those rules, because what I want in this particular group is I want people adding value. I don't want them just advertising their stuff, right? And so as you go through this group, you see all kinds of people adding value, right? Like this video, it turns out to be a 5-minute and 50-second video. It's actually got some good stuff. There is some self-promotion in there, but for the most part, the good stuff outweighs the self-promotion, so I allowed it to stay. But if you keep your group pure like that, then the group actually has a lot of interaction. Okay? And so those are kind of some of the secrets about the group. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get this off the screen. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to set up a conference line. Okay, and I use a program called Start Meeting. The reason I chose Start Meeting is it's an international system. It's free for the conferencing information. Okay, you know, and nothing's for free, obviously, right? They limit your amount of control. Okay, and so what we're going to do, Mr. Parris, is we're going to set you up. And so what we're going to do is we're going to sign up now. And when you get to this screen, it automatically defaults with
Congratulations. You are one of only 300.
Slow down, Sparky. The heck? Leave this page. There we go. A little pop-up going on there. That wasn't good. All right. So it's going to default with these things on. They have a screen sharing app. They have, you know, a total number, international access. You're going to just turn these off. And then now it's down to 0 per month. Now you're going to hit next. And for the sake of this webinar, we're going to do Parris Hill, okay, the parris.hill@gmail.com. And you and I already know what the password's going to be. Okay. And then I always put okay, heard from a friend, and then hit agree. Okay. Now, if you're building a coaching practice, let me give you a little tip here. Every time you set up a coaching client, you're setting up the conference line for you and the coaching client. What you want to do is set up the start meeting account with their first name and their last name, but you're going to use your email address, and you're going to make the password. What I recommend people do with the password is you make the password their last name and then the date that they signed up with coaching with you, followed by an exclamation symbol. Okay, and that way it's a uniform system, and people cannot, they're not going to be able to figure out what that person's password is. Okay, and so what you do is you hit done. Okay, and then these are your login credentials. Okay, now if I am setting up a coaching client, I would end up copying this information. Okay, now if you have Windows 7, you have the utilities on Windows 7 to do it. I'm not going to get into that on this call, but basically what it means is, okay, here's the phone number, here's the meeting ID, and here's the PIN. Okay, and so we're logged in now as that. Okay, and up here, if I go to your account, when somebody logs in, they're going to log in and they'll see this, and under history is where they're going to get the calls. Okay, so that's the advantage of doing that. Now let me show you kind of what a completed one looks like. You get this thing here. And so I'm going to show you how to access a call, how to download it, and how to upload it to a podcast system. So let me get this call here. So this is a line that I use for the 10X conference calls on Wednesdays. So over here you got the controls where you can like listen to the audio. I can download it, lock it, trash it, or I can click on this and get the link. Okay. In this case, I'm going to download it. Okay. So if you see right here, it's downloading that call. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to a free resource called Podbean, and you can have up to one channel for free. And so I'm going to set up Parris Hill's account, and we're going to call this Espada, right?
Right.
ESPADA.
Exactly.
So are you going to do any type of other groups called Espada, or is this it?
Yeah, this will be my actual, business team. So that's always something I've always had in mind.
So Espada team, is that what you want to call it?
Yeah, we could do like a Espada the Winners Association, I guess. That's the same, similar to the actual Facebook group.
So Espada Winners.
Yep.
Okay.
Association. Or yeah, you could do Espada Winners.
Double check here. Yeah, we did call it Espada the Winners Association. Okay, so what we'll do here is we'll go Espada the Winners Association. Okay. Then we're going to do is we're going to go the Parris.Hill at gmail.com. Okay, we use the password that we talked about. Okay. Then we're going to have to verify it's 5. We're going to create the account. Okay. So now you're created, and this is what it looks like. And so you want to go up here, your account. Okay. This is where you manage your account. The other thing you can do is go, okay, publish a podcast. And this is your dashboard. Okay, so the layout, under the free version, you've got some different layouts. You also got, if you go to the pro version, which is going to be $10 a month, you can choose whatever format, whatever layouts you want, or you can upload and custom design your own layout. Okay, so in this case, with the free one, you only get one choice, but we're going to customize it, and this is where you would upload your background image. You know, the one you used on, what I'd recommend is the exact image that you use on Facebook. You use it here.
Right.
You can put a header image there. There's all kinds of, play around with this. You can customize it with your own colors. Okay.
Nice.
And then set it like that. So that's themes. Then you got sidebar widgets. Okay. And you can play around with that. And you can really customize your page and what it's going to look like. Okay. And then to publish a podcast, I'm just going to do one for a sample here to show you, is you upload the, go to Media Manager, and you're going to upload the file, the image that you're going to use. So if we were going to use, it's just, you can go in here and delete this. We'll choose today's image that I used for this particular call today. And now it's in here. Okay, you can edit it. Okay, so it's going to upload in whatever file name you have. Okay, then you go over here to episodes, and you go publish new episode. It's going to ask you to choose a file to upload. And remember, I downloaded that call a minute ago. It's important to note, okay, what are the supported types of files? Well, you can do a video, you can do MP3. It's all these file formats. So today's webinar, for example, is going to be uploaded to the podcast channel, and people are going to be able to access it if they're in the group. Okay. So in this case, we go browse here, downloads, okay, and if memory serves me correctly, this is probably the call. And yep, that's the call. Bam. It's going to upload the file. And like I said, this could be an audio file, it can be a video file, it can be anything you want it to be.
Well, so let me, if I could really quick ask, that doesn't even have to be uploaded to YouTube then?
Nope.
If I did it that way?
Nope.
Wow.
Now, ideally,
Nice.
if you're going to serve this up to your group, you don't want it on YouTube. You want it on your own private podcast channel.
Right.
Okay? Now, if I wanted to tag an image to this, I already have one uploaded. Okay. Give it a name. Just going to call this test call. Down here, I've got an editor where I can go. I can edit the text here. I can insert photos. I can do whatever I want here. Okay. And then I can hit publish. Okay. Now, if I want to view it on the site, I click on View Site. And people can play it right from this site. Okay. Now the background, this would become the background, right? This would be the image, and this is the call. Okay. And so if I want to edit this, right, so if I want to make this a premium, okay, in other words, I can't make it a premium unless I'm an actual member, okay, unless I'm an actual pro member, okay. So let me show you what that actually looks like. So this is the 10X Business Owners Mastermind Group. And this is the call that we do every Wednesday at 9 a.m. And so what happens is if I go into my account, or actually if I go into Publish Podcast, okay, because it's a paid, I pay $10 a month for this, okay. So let's see here. So I have the calls. These are the calls that are currently published out. And I screwed up when I did this. I did not make it premium only. Okay, and so this needs to be a premium, meaning you have to be a member of this group in order to get this call. Okay, so I'm going to edit it here, and I'm going to make it premium. So premium means you have to have a password. You don't just get access to it for free. Okay, and so down under premium, you have the payment subscription. So if somebody actually wanted to buy this, this is tied into my PayPal account. They can actually be on a monthly recurring or an annual payment. The people that are my coaching clients, right, I've already added them for free. So you can add them as a subscriber. Okay? And that's how you manage your people. Okay? The layout, you get a lot more choices when it comes to layout. Okay, I went with just the regular one because I like the theme. And so on the side, it looks like this. Okay, this is the background. This is the logo. Okay, and then all the calls are listed here. And so if somebody comes to this site and they click on play, they're going to be prompted with the username and password. They just can't up and listen to it. Okay? Any questions about this, Mr. Parris Hill?
Nope, that's pretty straight to the point as far as convenience. That's really cool.
Okay. Tina, do you have any questions?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not on that. Thanks.
Okay. So let me go back to my PowerPoint here. And so the keys to success to make this work, this is the absolute keys, is you want this to be, number one, you got to commit to a schedule. If you're going to do something like this, the only way this works is you need to pick a time that you can commit to. The thing that makes these types of groups work is the consistency and the persistency of doing it. Number two is subscribe to podcasts. Subscribe to other people's podcasts. And so for me, because I'm a coach and I'm specifically a business and sales coach, I subscribe to Grant Cardone's podcast. I subscribe to Rory Vaden's podcast. I subscribe to Joe Polish's podcast. And I listen to a podcast pretty much on a daily basis. So I do that when I'm driving or whether I'm working out or taking my dog for a walk. I subscribe to podcasts. Now the reason is what I'm looking for is not only am I wanting to grow individually, but I will hear stuff that I'm like, you know what, that I really resonate with that. And then what I end up doing is on my mastermind call on Monday, I turn right around and I teach that. And so when you do that, it takes it to a deeper level. Because if you think about it, you know, people say, well, that's plagiarism. Why can't you be original? And on and on and on. And it's like, you know what? Guess what, buddy? There's probably hasn't been an original thought created in over 5,000 years. It's just that I heard it, it hit me a certain way, and I went around and taught it in my own words. And so when you look at Zig Ziglar's famous for saying, you can get everything out of life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. Jesus Christ over 2,000 years ago said, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And so who invented the saying first? Well, who knows, right? So the point is this, is it's good to be plugged into training, teaching, coaching, and then the stuff that you really resonate with, that really makes an impact in your life, turn around and teach it. There are lots of other people out there that would like to know what you know. So in Parris Hill's case, he's building a multi-level marketing business, and he's got a specific product. And so running a weekly training call where he's teaching about health, where he's teaching about success principles, where he's teaching about owning your own business, different ideas around that. Over time, you're going to get people that subscribe to that. Tina, in your case, since you're focused on being a senior concierge, you know, teaching the different aspects about that, how-to stuff, why-to, having either a monthly webinar or a conference call, you can have people subscribe to that stuff.
Right. Awesome. This is awesome.
Okay. The next thing is you want to promote it on a regular basis. So in the beginning, it's like a snowball. It's like if you and I were in the snow, and I took a little pebble, and I started rolling it down the sandbank. Every time it turns over, it's going to collect more snow, and then pretty soon it's a big snowball. And that's how this works as well. So don't get discouraged if you only have one or two people that subscribe, or if you get on the call and there's nobody on the call, or there's maybe one or two people on the call. Don't get discouraged with that. You're going to develop a following over time. It takes consistency in order to have success with this strategy. And so, to recap, what you want to do is get your system set up. Get your Facebook group going. Decide what it is that you're going to become an expert at. What do you want to be positioned as it relates to being an expert? Number two is start right away. Develop content that you can teach and train. Don't worry about, oh, I've got to do it perfect or any of that stuff. Nobody's going to know you screw up except you. The key is to get the reps in. So right now I do an average of 60 coaching sessions a month. I do an average, this is 3 calls, so I do 3 calls a week. So that's 12 conference call, training calls just like this every single week. I do 4 front of the room talks every month and 2 webinars a month. And that's my track to run on. And because of those reps, this time last year, my skill set was one way. Here we are a year later, my skill set is probably times 1,000. And next year, because I'm going to continue to do this for the next 25 years, so every year my skill set's going to grow. Tony Robbins, when he started out at age 20 working for Jim Rohn, wasn't good at all. But now the guy can do a 3-day workshop and not even break, well, he does sweat, but not even break a sweat as far as knowing what to talk about. He's got more content that he can share than there is time. And so, any questions at all? Any comments, questions, anything?
Oh, no. A lot of solid content.
Okay. Was this content helpful today?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I think any business could use this.
Okay.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
Fantastic. So next week, what we're going to do is we're going to start, every week it's going to be a different topic. The 10X Trainer Mastermind was designed to help people build a speaking business or a coaching business or a trainer business. And so if you know of anybody that wants to do that, so you two have access to it because you're one-on-one coaching clients of mine. You also have we also are going to be, as we develop content, we're going to be putting it out to people that want to just be a part of the weekly call. And I'm going to come up with a pricing model, but you'll be able to earn 50% commission on their subscription. Okay?
Awesome.
So,
Nice.
and that's going to be good money because we're going to develop really good content. So here's the big takeaway. And if you're listening to the recording, or actually in this case watching the recording, you want to start sending me requests for content. So over the next 6 months, we're going to develop a massive library of content on how to build a public speaking business, how to build a coaching business, how to build a trainer program. And so any suggestions you have for content, we're going to be recording it here. Okay? All right, guys. Hey, thanks a lot for being on today's call. We're kind of running out of time.
Thank you.
And if you, do you have any other questions or anything you want to talk about while we still have, I think we have about 5 minutes left. Any coaching that you'd like, or any questions at all?
I have a question, John, back to the start meeting screen.
Okay.
And you were talking about when you would be coaching a client and setting up a client, you would put their name but your email. Did I hear you right?
I would put their name but my email. And the reason being is when you have, like in my case right now, I have 23 coaching clients. And so what I do is I will go to, I'll show you really quick, is I will go to startmeeting.com and I will go log in and I will hit forget password and I will submit it. And then what's going to happen is it's going to send me an email, and every single account that I have is going to be on one page with the passwords. The password is what determines the meeting ID. Okay? So because it's that way, when you have that many coaching clients, I don't want to have, it's an easy way for me to find everyone's username and password. And it's an easy way for me to find what is the meeting ID. So I'll give you an example. Is if I go to my calendar, okay? So let's see here. So what I do is I will put their meeting their call ID and meeting ID here, and then I'll put the host code here, so I never have to remember it. It's always going to be in the deal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. We are out of time, and have a wonderful weekend. And next Friday, we're going to be talking about how to book speaking engagements. We're going to do an entire workshop. It's going to be probably going to use the go to meeting format, because we can do web share. We can do webcams. And so this is going to be one of those calls that if you've got any conflict with the time, you want to change your schedule. This is how you're going to learn. This is how I learned how to build a speaker training coaching business, is I plugged into this weekly call. Eric Laughlin led that call when I was part of his trainer program. Even though we had 5 calls a week, I always plugged into his call. And I was a sponge. And over time, I built a 6-figure business out of it, and soon to be a 7-figure business. So you can do the same. And just show up to the calls and implement and do it consistently over time. And next thing you know, you're going to look up and you're making all this money on a consistent basis. And the cool thing about building a coaching business or a speaking business is, you can actually extend your life and fight, things like Alzheimer's and dementia, because you're going to exercise your brain for the rest of your life. It takes a lot of energy to coach somebody. So congratulations for being here, and we'll talk to you later, okay?
Thank you.
All right.